uh, 2 minutes. We'll wait and we'll see. Okay. Uh, Welcome back to our Ambedkar University Open University classes, online classes. Fifth semester, company law. In previous classes, I've taken what is a company, the nature of company, and kinds of companies, incorporation of a company. First block we completed, incorporation of a company. Then the documents to be submitted at the time of incorporation of a company, like a what do you call a memorandum of association, articles of association. Then the other important document, prospectus, the procedure for the incorporation of a company we discussed. And in today's class, we are going to discuss about directors, board of directors. Okay, so here is the screen that I'm sharing. So in this second block, there are 3, 5, 6, 7 units are there, which is relating to the board of directors and their legal aspects for directors, their appointment, their duties and responsibilities and all. So let us start. Is the screen visible? Can someone please respond?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So who is a director? Whom we can call as a director? A director is a person who is responsible for directing or controlling the policy or management of a company. It's a person who gets the responsibility, authority and responsibility to control and manage the company. We call him as a director. According to the section 2 of 13, subsection 13 of Companies Act, director is defined as a person who is occupying the position of a director by whatever the name called. Means whoever, whatever, that may be a director, chief officer, chairman, whatever, is a person who is occupies that position by law, we'll call him as a director. Okay, and for which companies these directors are applicable? It's all private and public limited companies, one person company. For all these three, directors are must. And who are the board of directors? Board of directors means these are the apex governing body of a company, where a company board is like they are like a brain for the all entire company acts and planning process. Okay, so they are like they act like a brain to the company, where the entire company's decisions and plans are taken by this board. Okay. So board of directors are like a apex governing body of the company. They are act as like a brain where they take all the actions and plannings of a company. So qualification of directors, who can be a director of the firm? Okay, who can become a director of a company? A director must require the qualification shares. This incorporation, I told you, at the time of incorporation, directors must give written consent that they are agreed to buy and pay for the qualification shares. Means there I explained under that, to be a director of the firm, a firm according to its number of shares issue and capital, fix some amount or some number of shares as qualification shares. Means the person who possesses that number of shares can become a director. Okay, so a director must acquire the qualification shares. He must give his consent in writing that he is agreed to pay for the shares of qualification shares of the company. Sorry. And any individual can become a director of the company, right? Now, how many people can act as the directors of the company? So, in case of a public limited company, minimum three directors must be there. Okay, a public limited company cannot start its business without a minimum number of three directors. Okay, if it is a private company, a minimum two directors must be there. One person company, one director. So this is the minimum. Means without these number, they cannot start the business. They cannot go for any work in corporation or anything. So maximum, coming to the maximum, a public limited company can appoint 15 directors with a special resolution. It can appoint more than 15 also. A public limited company maximum should be there 15 directors. If it want to have a more number of directors, by conducting a special resolution. What is a special resolution we will understand in our meetings topic. Okay. I'll just mention about the special resolution also. Special resolution means when a meeting is conducted with a purpose, with an object of taking a decision, and that decision, uh, approval of that decision will be accepted if it acquires three-fourth of the majority acceptance. Then we call as a special resolution. Means if a decision which requires three-fourth of majority voting for, and a decision has been taken, then we call that meeting as a special resolution. See, you used to hear in the news in Lok Sabha, PM submitted a bill waiting for the decision making, right? Excuse me. Hello, sir. Sir, ah, who is not unmuting? చెప్పండి. అవునవును నా వాయిస్ కాఫ్తో వాయిస్ పోయింది. యూనివర్సిటీ వాళ్ళు మీరు ఒక మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి. ఏం ఇవ్వలేదు. లాస్ట్ టైం నెంబర్స్ చూసుకోవాలి. మీరు పెడతారు, చేస్తారు. ఒక్కసారి ఒక మెసేజ్ దాంట్లోనే సైడ్కి పెట్టండి. మ్మ్. అండ్ మీ పిపిటీస్ నాకు మెయిల్‌లో కూడా దొరకలేదు. ఇంకొక సిస్టమ్ ఉంది. చూస్తుంటే పంపిస్తాను. హ్మ్. హ్మ్. ఆహ్, I'll see, sir. Just a minute. I'm sorry, children. I'm so sorry, children. Just a minute. Yeah, right. So, what we are discussing? Yeah, minimum number is this, and the maximum public limited company, if want to have a 15 directors maximum. If they want to have more than that, they can go for a special resolution. Special resolution means what? A meeting with an objective. Say if they're conducting a meeting to take a more than 15 directors, and in that meeting, the members who are voting for the decision must be three-fourth of the majority. Then only they can take a more than 15 directors. So a meeting in which a decision requires three-fourth of majority acceptance and decision has been taken with that majority acceptance, then that meeting is called as special solution. Okay. Now coming to the other any listed company, public limited companies, paid up share capital 100 crores or more and turnover 300 crores or more should appoint at least one woman director. See, you people said, no, this all we didn't learn under the business organization. It will come only in a company law subject. Okay. And when this minimum number required to be there in the company, we call as a quorum. 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 The minimum number of directors required in a company to conduct a meeting we call as a quorum. 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 So these are called quorum directors, the minimum directors to be present in the company. The maximum private limited company can take 15 directors or more with a special resolution. And if it a company is a other listed company or any other public limited companies, the share capital must be 100 crores or more, and okay, to have above 15 directors, and turnover must be 300 crores. If the turnover is above 300 crores, they should also have a woman director. Understood? Okay. The next one is appointment of directors. How a company appoint the directors? What's the rules and regulations? First one is signatories of memorandum of association. Means at the time of incorporation, whoever signed the memorandum of association, means this memorandum has to be in writing and printed. It should be signed by the some people, right? So whoever signed the memorandum of association, those people, okay, will be named as a director and become the first directors of the company as per the articles of association. Okay. Yes. So, signatories of memorandum of association. First, how a company will appoint the directors, the individuals as our directors. Sorry, those people who are signed, who are signed the memorandum of association as the first directors of the company. Okay, so first, that's how it takes. Whoever signed that memorandum of association, they'll become the first director of the company as per the articles, and their names will be entered in the articles of association also. The next one is by shareholders in general meeting. The next, who can be a director of the company? Are shareholders. General meeting of a company, directors means company will conduct a general meeting of shareholders. In that shareholders meeting, whoever the members elected as directors by the shareholders, they'll become the director of the company. Okay. So the members at the general meeting of the company will elect the directors. So the shareholders, all the shareholders will join. So, they will elect some member directors, and those people will become the shareholders of the company, and sorry, directors of the company. They will be appointed as the directors. Okay. And for election of these members, companies, as per the Companies Act section 255, provisions to be followed, the procedure has to be followed by the company. Next one is appointment by board of directors. Yes, sometimes we have seen a minimum and maximum number. In that, if any members left the company, or resigned from the company, or died, or shifted to another company, whatever the reasons, if the vacancy is there, a casual vacancy has been formed among the number of directors, then the existing directors will appoint one person as the directors to fill the vacant position. So, fill up the casual vacancy by nomination. Appointed will remain the office only for the unexpired period of vacant period. So, whatever the tenure, say for example, ABCR directors, in that B died, and more for B, more 1 year term is there. Then A and C will appoint one member as a director in the place of B's vacant the position, and he will be some D. Okay, D has been appointed as a director in the place of B, and D will act as a director only for the period of 1 year. Whatever the tenure is, whatever is that died partner director's period is, at that period only. That is what it means. Appointment by board of directors means the directors will fill up the casual vacancy by nomination. Directors who are appointed will remain in the office only for the unexpired period of the vacant director whose post is vacant. I just now explained the same thing. ABC are the three directors. In that, B died, and B still has 1 more year to complete. So A and C together will appoint one member as a director, say D. So D will replace the B's position and will act as a director only for the 1 year. Okay, that is what appointment by board of directors. Next one is appointment by proportional representation. Means what? Yeah, except for the government companies, majority domination, to avoid the majority domination over the minus, what they can do, two-thirds of the directors by proportional representation can be a minority shareholders. Okay, say directors means some company shares means they are in large in number. Okay, but they cannot, only if those large and the people who are having huge shares only work as the directors. Means what about the minority shareholders, means the shareholders who are having minimum number of shares. So in order to protect their interest also, the proportion of such directors also will be taken as a director of the company. Say for example, a company has a some 1,000 shares. In that, there are some shareholders who are possessing below 400. 400 shareholders are minority shareholders, means they are possessing 120 shares like that. So upon from these 400 minority shareholders, two-thirds of directors will be appointed. So 300 if you take, so some 150 directors will be people will be taken as a minority shareholders director on behalf of the minority shareholders. Next, appointment by central government. Yes, sometimes even by central government, according to the section 408 of the Act, central government will appoint or nominate a director. mm, Appoint a director to the board in case of mismanagement. If a company feels, means if the central government feels there is a mismanagement, okay, and then company will appoint a central government will appoint some directors. Coming to the legal position, who can what is the legal position of directors? It is also important. So the administration of company is the entire, that's what we said, it's directors are like brain to the company. They take all the necessary decisions and policies. So decision policy matters and you are in their hands, so they are not paid. So how the director play his role? What is his legal position? Director will work as a trustee. Director represents the company as an agent. The director is a managing partner of the company. Director is an officer of the company. Director works as an employee of the company. Okay. So let us see each of these positions. It is important from the examination point of view. What is the legal position of directors as a trustee? Actually, directors are not real owners, right? There are also some shareholders possessing qualifying shares. Okay, company is separate from its members. Okay, so he is not supposed to act as an owner, but being the he is supposed to be, he will be given some powers with the interest of the company. Okay, so directors are expected to show that power or the authority as a trustee, means he will take care of all the assets, liabilities, sorry, and funds of the company. Okay, directors are expected to, so they are expected to show this, okay, their capacity, and has to work as a trustee only. If this director misuse his position, they will also, means he is only a third person, as because company is an artificial person, right? As an artificial person, company cannot take its decisions, or it cannot work on its own. So these whoever the directors perform all the functions on behalf of company. They are like a backbone. They are like a brain to the company. So he will be given some authority to buy or sell the company assets and to take the financial decisions of behalf of company. So he acts as a third person, but he's not himself is the owner, right? So a company director is just as a trustee. He should take care of all the assets and liabilities of a company with the due respect. You should not misuse them. If in any case it is found that a director has misused his authority and sold a company's assets or misused a company's properties, then he will be held liable. Okay, he is the trustee. Okay, so when he is working under as a trustee, in case of at the time of transfer of shares or distribution of shares, the directors should also disclose why they are doing so. Okay, the next director as a there is a case also which you are supposed to write, Alexander versus automatic telephone case. These directors of a company paid up nothing on their own shares. Okay, they however made all the other shareholders pay some extra amount on each share. They did not tell the other shareholders of the difference. Held this was a breach of trust, and the directors were bound to pay to the company the extra amount charged on each of their shares. So there is a case. There was a case called Alexander versus automatic telephone case. The share Alexander is one of the director, and in that automatic telephone case, what they did, they invited the shareholders of this automatic telephone case company, shareholders to pay the extra money on the shares. So everyone paid except these directors, Alexander and others. So what happened when this came into that is a breach of contract, because he is third person who is acting on behalf of company. That's all. He also, like all other shareholders, he has to conduct himself, right? So, but he didn't do. They didn't pay their share of capital, their share, their amount. So they did breach of trust, and these directors are bound to become liable to pay the extra amount against their shares. Then there was one more case, that is Percival and Wright case. Yes, in this case also, directors of company bought shares from the shareholders, negotiating for the sale of company to another at a very high price, and they did not disclose this fact to the shareholder. What these shareholders, these directors did, a company, these company shareholders, they called back the shareholders to sell their shares to the company. So what these directors did, they asked the shareholders to sell their, means they purchased buyback of the shares of the shareholders, company shares from the shareholders at a lower price, and tried to sell at a higher price to other company and other shareholders, which again is a breach of contract. So, directors were under the obligation to disclose negotiation to, and they become a liable for the company because they are supposed to disclose. They are not disclosing. Without disclosing the fact, they just simply ask them to pay their buyback of the shares. So they are also held. So these are the two simple cases which you can write. The next one, legal position of the director is as an agent. Yes, director is always occupies the position of agent, where he has to function on behalf of the company as per the provisions of the Articles of Association only. Okay, and Companies Act. He should not have any personal transactions, and the transactions done for, and whatever transactions he do, those all are for and on behalf of the company only. So he should exclusively act as an agent. Next, as a partner, yes, directors too will have their shares, right? Qualification shares. Okay, so held their shares, like by holding those shares only, they become the members of company and also become the directors. So they are representative members because other shareholders trust them and elected them to act on behalf of them. So he is just a representative member of the other shareholders. So he should remember that he is a partner of the members of company, so accordingly, he should act and take decisions. He should not assume that he is separate from the other shareholders. Okay. The next, powers of the directors are decided from the articles under the Companies Act 1956. The liability is limited to the extent of holding of the shares only, trustee and agent both. So, okay. The next, so director work as an agent and trustee. Next, director work as an officer of the company. So he is not a servant. He is equal to his co-shareholders, equal to his called other as a trustee, as a what you call agent or a partner, but he is not supposed to treat it as an servant. Okay, rather than he is the office of the company, he is a plane of the company. So employees appointed by the company under the contract of service is servant of the company. Whoever appointed by the company as a contract of service, those only the servants of the company. So this director should not enjoy any powers other than those vested in him by the employer, and he also can direct his actions and interfere in his work. Okay, so he is a employee of the company who is appointed by the employer. Director access employment in the company under the separate contract of service. He is not like others employees. Okay, he is also an employee, but not like other employees. He comes under the separate contract of service act. Directorship is also treated as an employee or servant of the company. Okay. Uh, so, like all other employees, he also gets some remuneration and other benefits, which are was for the employees but only the thing he is getting in addition. In addition to that, he will get a remuneration under the act also. So all the once again I repeat, director as an officer of the company means he works as an officer of the company. He also has been appointed as an employee only like by the employers. Only the difference is his role and his play is role and his importance is different and plays an key role. So his appointment comes under the separate contract of service. He also will be paid certain amount as a remuneration, okay, and certain other benefits as a special employee. Next, director as an employee of the company is also treated as a office of the company for certain matters, and also as a manager, as a secretary, as also even an employee of the company. Okay, because as an officer in default, he is an officer in default, but when required, he should also act as an employee of the company and take necessary decisions. So that's about role of director. Now let us see what. So director as a trustee, director as an employee, director as an agent, director as a employee. Right? Now let us see powers of directors or board of directors. What powers that the director will enjoy? Let us see. General powers, as a director, whatever general powers to be given to him in taking decisions, making policies. That apart from that, you also can inspect the books of accounts of a company and can send notices of the company meeting for the company meetings. He is having a power to receive the remuneration, ask for the remuneration, and he attends the meetings of board of directors. He has certain specific powers. So general powers and specific powers are there. Apart from that, he can issue the debentures and he can invest the funds of companies in other companies, and he can take loans on behalf of the company. These are the certain powers he have. Apart from the duties of, see, only powers must always accompany with the duties. Powers without duties may lead to misuse, right? So duties of the director are inspecting the prospectus. He should inspect because prospectus is prepared by someone else. So he should also inspect whether the prospectus is prepared according to all the giving all the faith, true and faith information or not. Then he should also sign on the prospectus. Okay, and it is the responsibility of the or duty of the director to see that the annual reports are presented time to time, submitted, and he's the one who is responsible to conduct a statutory meeting and forwarding the report of statutory meeting. Actually, now this statutory meeting is not there as per the new amendment of 2013 amended act of two companies act. But earlier there was public limited companies used to conduct a statutory meeting, which is to be conducted in the beginning. Okay, that was not there now. But as per that, if you see, director is responsible or having a responsible the duty to conduct the statutory meeting and sending the report of the same to the registrar. And he is responsible to conduct the general meetings time to time, and he is responsible to declare the dividend. He is responsible to present reports and statements and sending the copies to the registrar. If in any case, if any document is missed in submitting to the registrar, no one else will be asked or except the director. So director is such a honorary position that in the institutions which nobody should get this one, but he will be appointed. Okay, he is responsible. So if you duties. Now we are seeing director duty, the responsibility is of ultra-virus act. Means ultra-virus means what? Uh, Giving wrong information. Whatever is not there, providing a fault information. We call ultra-virus. Negligence. If director act instead of being a responsible director and taking the responsible decisions, if he act as a negligent, then also for that also any loss caused to the company due to his negligence, director will be held be liable. Liability of fraud. Yes, if any director indulge in the conducting fraud activities, then he also will be able to liable for his fraudulent information. Okay. Then towards outsiders, how is a ultravirus acts agent in relation to allotment? Outsiders, a breach of contract, and as an agent to his co-shareholders, liable, and he's also liable to relation to allotment. So he's liable to this all. Retirement. When a director will get retired? Generally, the retirement of directors is stated in the Articles of Association. Okay, unless otherwise, if not stated, then for public company, according to Section 52 of Section 6, two-thirds of total directors are liable to retire by rotation. 5 years, 3 years. Are the people there?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah. Shall I share again? So directors. So is about directors is that. Did you understood this? After directors, we have after directors. Next topic is what, ma? Am I is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
What screen you are seeing?
Yes, ma'am.
What screen you are seeing? Which is
Qualification of directors.
which screen is visible to you?
Ma'am, qualification of director.
Qualification of directors. Okay. So the second block is done. Okay. Uh, now
Yes,
what?
ma'am.
What ma? Do you have any doubts now?
No, ma'am.
I'm sharing this. Okay, company law directors file sharing to you. Did you receive? See in charts. Received? Received or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Signal is not coming. Okay, next block three. What is the block three, ma? What is the block three?
Company secretary, ma'am.
Four.
For
Company secretary.
fourth
Okay.
one, ma'am, company meetings.
Fifth one,
Winding up of a companies.
winding up. Winding or not.
Okay.
Winding up of a company. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have company secretaries also, right? Uh, 1 second, I'll check. It's a small topic. I think for that, hmm, Shri Ramchandra. Yeah. So visible now? I got the material. Management of company under that directors, corporate governance, I told. Now company secretary, status of company secretary. More two classes we have. How
Yes,
many
ma'am.
classes do we have? Hmm. See, let us see here. I covered everything or not. Meetings we came, meetings కాదు కదా మనకు కావాల్సింది సెక్రటరీ కావాలి. I'll complete this also because director is done and the secretary is small topic. Yes, company secretary and status of company secretary. Okay, so who is a secretary? Who is the person called secretary? So generally, for every organization, director is like a brain to take the decisions and make the policies and plannings, and secretary is the person who executes those plans and decisions into actions. Okay, so company is managed by the board of directors and the administered by the company secretary. So here company secretary also plays an important role in the incorporation of a company. Okay, so where it came from and all, if you take out. So who is a company secretary as per the, so is visible, I'll highlight. Is visible. So as per section 2 of subsection 224, children, is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Screen is visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Section 2 of subsection 24, Companies Act means is a secretary who is simple for the examination. If you are supposed to write, secretary means uh, is a administrative, is a person who undertakes the administration part of the business company. My director is like a brain who makes plans and decisions, takes decisions, and the secretary is the one who undertakes administration, like a nerve system, who implements the plans and decisions that are made by the directors. Okay, administrative part, head of the administrative part. Okay, and in possessing prescribed qualification, he need to possess certain an individual who have a certain qualifications will be appointed to perform his duties and as a secretary. Okay, now let us see what are the characteristics of a person to be a company secretary. A company secretary means an individual who is appointed as a company secretary will become a uh, part of the corporate body. He is only a firm or body corporate cannot be a company secretary. Only individual can be a company secretary. A firm cannot act as a company secretary. Okay, and he must possess certain qualifications. You might have heard of that CS. I'm doing CS. People who used to say, what is CS means company secretaryship. Okay, so he must possess that required qualifications. An individual only can be a secretary of the company, and he will perform certain ministerial and administrative duties in order. Okay, so he performs certain administrative as well as the ministerial duties, but he will not have any managerial duties like management, like taking decisions, making policies, that he will not do. He will do administering, means whatever the decisions are taken by the director, those he will administer, means implement. He is responsible to see those are implemented properly, and he will also take care the rules and regulations of companies act are observed and followed by the company. That only. So communicator is the ear, eyes, and hands, while directors are the brains. I said no. Yeah, I said no. Okay. They are supposed to listen. They're supposed to watch, and they're supposed to perform. That why they are ears. They are listen, watch, and perform. Okay. Directors make decisions. Understood? So if you write these lines in your exam, you can score. Okay. Mm. So again said, frame the policies, secretaries will implement them. Coming to the appointment of a company secretary, how he will be appointed? He has to be appointed. A company which has a paid up capital of 5 crores and above must have a company secretary. If its paid up capital is 5 crores or above, they should have a company secretary, and they are supposed to this person has to be appointed by passing the special resolution at the board of directors. I just now said what is special resolution. So in the directors meeting, by passing two-thirds of majority acceptance, they'll appoint the company secretary. 2 points. One, who can appoint? Who is supposed to appoint the company secretary? A company which has a paid up capital above 5 crores. How they will appoint? As a whole times company secretary. Who will appoint? The board of directors in a special resolution. These are the 3 points you can write under the appointment of a company secretary. Okay. and then you shall not be hold office in more than one company. And what are the rules? A person, an individual who is appointed as a company secretary of a company should not be company secretary of other company. Okay. So first secretary, 4 points. Fifth one is the first secretary of company generally nominated by the promoters of company itself, and his name is stated in the articles. Because at the time of incorporation, they need a directors, secretary, advocate general, all these. So promoters will appoint these people first, certain people. Okay, because these are the people who have to sign on the documents. Okay, so whoever is appointed, so first secretary will be appointed by the promoter itself, and the individual whoever is appointed at that time, his name will be appear in the articles of association, and he will continue. Okay. Mm, Only he will be continued only with the confirmation of the board of directors after company incorporation. Okay, these points to be remembered while writing. Mm. And rest all formalities are if a person is appointed as a company secretary, it must be his appointment must be in writing, and his duties, terms and conditions, rules and regulations, everything has to be given in detail in the appointment letter itself only, and the same information has to be passed to the stock exchange. Okay, where company listed its name. So appointment of company hardly 10 points, 7 to 10 points astaru. What are those? First, who can appoint? A person who is having five company which is a paid up capital of 5 crores and above, and as a whole time partner person. Next, by special resolution of board of directors, and it should be approved by the shareholders, and he should not hold a company meeting. He should not be a company secretary of any other company. Fourth one. The fifth one is first secretary is appointed or nominated by the promoters, and his name appears in the articles of association, and this will be confirmed, has to be confirmed by the, his continuation has to be confirmed by the board of directors. 5 points. Sixth point is his appointment must be in writing with terms and conditions and rules and regulations. Okay, and remuneration also. Seventh point is about his appointment, it must inform to the stock exchange where company is listed its name. 7 points over. Done. Now coming to the qualifications of company secretary. Yes. What qualification means being in a company secretary? Based on the appointment of company secretary, he possesses certain qualifications, statutory qualifications and professional qualifications. Let us see what are he means to be a company secretary. Those are required qualifications. This after becoming a company secretary, what is need to possess, what roles he play. See, as statutory qualification. Which are mandatory that a person who acts as a company secretary of a company, whoever the individual appointed as a company secretary of a company, he need to possess certain qualifications which are mandatory. That's mandatory in the sense compulsory. So what are these? He should be a member of, he should possess membership in the Institute of Company Secretary of India. He should be a member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, or he should be a member of Cost and Works important. He must possess corporate secretaryship postgraduate degree, or he must possess degree in law or corporate laws. If he were, he should be an individual, not a company, not any firm, only an individual who is possessing a certificate membership in the company secretary of India, or membership in Chartered Accountants of India, or who is possessing membership in CMA, that is Cost and Management Accountants of India, and or an individual who possesses a PG in corporate secretaryship, or an individual who is possessing degree in law or corporate laws can become a company secretary. Those are statutory qualifications. Apart from that, he also must possess certain uh, professional qualifications. Means, as normally, generally, to be a company secretary, why they need these all? Because is the person who has to administer, who has to implement, take care of implementation, and on a time, effective and efficiently. That's why he need these all qualifications we look forward about in an individual to take as a company secretary. So let us see the professional qualifications. Professional qualifications, they should possess sound education, means his education track should be good. Uh, and at the education level also should possess required perform certain duties and responsibilities. Academic, academic qualifications will be observed. Okay. And next, able to make sound judgments. He should able to take a sound and prompt decisions in case of any conflicts arises. So that will be tested. Will he be able to qualify like conflicting issues? He will be able to take the judgment or not. Will be tested. Knowledge of office organization and business methods. You should also possess a practical knowledge of different systems, filing, indexing, duplicating, office related organizing system, and what are the different methods and trends that's taking place in the mechanization and automation of a business. All this knowledge means okay, various laws. Being a company secretary of the company, you should have the knowledge, required knowledge about different laws relating industrial law, labor law, commercial law, company law. These all related, various acts related, basic and sufficient knowledge must be there. Yes, you should also understand the accounts and the secretarial practices, the taxation rules and regulations of a company. Uh, must possess because he's the one who takes care of entire functioning of the business. Okay, so you need to possess all the basic information, economic, banking, and finance, knowledge of modern methods of banking, how the money and capital markets are running, what is the trend going on in the money and capital markets. All these knowledge you must possess. Apart from all and above, impressive personality. You must be a good and impressive person with the personal qualities like sincerity, common sense, must have the enthusiasm to learn new things, responsibility, feeling of responsibility. Okay, all these are all expected by the company to select an individual as a company secretary. These qualifications, what he should not possess, what he is not supposed to. He should not be a unsound person. He has everything, but if he has no decent mind or no sound mind, he cannot take a disturbed mind. He cannot take a prompt decisions, and he should adjust it an insolvent or yes, he should not be an insolvent or bankrupt. Insolvent means దివాలా తీయడం. ఒక నష్టపోయిన వాడిని తీసుకొచ్చి బిజినెస్లో పెడితే ఈ విల్ నాట్, హిజ్ మైండ్ అనేది కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఉండదు అనమాట. అందుకని ఇన్సాల్వెంట్ ఆర్ బ్యాంక్రప్టెడ్ పర్సన్ ఆల్సో నాట్ టు బి టేకెన్. కన్విక్టెడ్ బై ది కోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ లా ఫర్ ఎనీ అఫెన్స్, ఎలాంటి కోర్టు కేసులు ఉండకూడదు. అండ్ ఈ మస్ట్ బి పర్సన్ అపాయింట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ అవడానికి కావాల్సినటువంటి అన్ని క్వాలిఫికేషన్స్ ఉండాలి. ఈ షుడ్ నాట్ బి క్వాలిఫైడ్ ఫర్ అంటే కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీగా అపాయింట్మెంట్ అయిన వ్యక్తి డైరెక్టర్, ఆడిటర్ ఆర్ ఎనీ అదర్ పర్సన్స్ అయి ఉండకూడదు. ఈ షుడ్ బి ఓన్లీ ఎ కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ. ఈ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ఎ డైరెక్టర్, not be an auditor, or should not be any other person as per the contract. ఓకే, ఇవి సింపుల్గా చదువుకోండి, అర్థమవుతాయి. ఏంటి అంటే ఏం కావాలి, రెండు రకాలు, స్టాచ్యుటరీ అండ్ ప్రొఫెషనల్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్. స్టాచ్యుటరీ అంటే ఏంటి, అతనికి అంటే ఒక సిఏ, సిఎస్ లేదా సిఎంఏ చేసిన వ్యక్తి అయి ఉండాలి. అది చేశారు అంటే అందులో మెంబర్షిప్ కంపల్సరీగా వస్తుంది, వాళ్ళు క్వాలిఫై అయి ఉంటే. అంతే. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసరికి లేదా పీజీ అయినా, కార్పొరేట్ సెక్రటరీగా పీజీ చేయని, లేదా ఏదన్నా లా, కంపెనీ లా, కార్పొరేట్ లా, ఇలాంటి లాలో డిగ్రీ కానీ తీసుకున్న వ్యక్తి ఉండాలి, ఒక ఇండివిజువల్ అయి ఉండాలి కంపెనీ. లేకపోతే ప్రొఫెషనల్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్ మంచి ఆలోచన, సౌండ్ మైండ్ ఉన్నవాడు అయి ఉండాలి. ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అకాడమిక్ ట్రాక్ బాగున్న అబ్బాయి బాగిన ఉండాలి. తర్వాత క్రిటికల్ ఇష్యూస్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ప్రాంప్ట్ డెసిషన్ తీసుకోగలిగేట్టుగా ఉండాలి. ఓకే. ఆఫీస్కి సంబంధించిన అన్ని వ్యవహారాలు, బిజినెస్ సంబంధించిన మెథడ్స్ అన్నీ తెలిసి ఉండాలి. ద లేటెస్ట్ ట్రెండ్స్ అండ్ మెకానిక్ ఆటోమేషన్స్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ద ఆఫీస్ తెలిసి ఉండాలి. అలాగే డిఫరెంట్ లాస్, కంపెనీకి రిలేటెడ్ అయినటువంటి డిఫరెంట్ లాస్, కంపెనీ లా, ఇండస్ట్రియల్ లా, కమర్షియల్ లా, లేబర్ లా, ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ లాస్ గురించి తెలిసి ఉండాలి. ఆ తర్వాత అకౌంటింగ్ అండ్ ట్యాక్సేషన్ సంబంధించిన అంటే బేసిక్ అకౌంటింగ్ నాలెడ్జ్, కీపింగ్, అలాగే ట్యాక్స్ ఎప్పటికప్పుడు ట్యాక్స్ సంబంధించిన అప్డేట్స్ తెలిసి ఉండాలి. వీటితో పాటుగా హీ షుడ్ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ పొసెస్ డిఫరెంట్ బ్యాంకింగ్ మెథడ్స్ ఏంటి, ఎకనామిక్స్ అండ్ ఫైనాన్స్ ఎలా ఉంది, క్యాపిటల్ మార్కెట్స్ ఎలా రన్ చేస్తున్నాయి, అప్ టు డేట్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉండాలి. అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆల్ దట్ ఫిజికల్గా హీ మస్ట్ బి అన్ ఇంప్రెసివ్ పర్సన్. ఇవి క్వాలిఫికేషన్స్. ఏవి ఉండకూడదు సెక్రటరీ అయ్యాలనుకునే వ్యక్తి, అతను కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ అనే అతను కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీగా ఒక కంపెనీలోనే పనిచేయాలి. ఈ కెనాట్ వర్క్ ఇన్ మోర్ దాన్ వన్ కంపెనీ. ఒక డైరెక్టర్గా ఉన్న వ్యక్తి కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ కాకూడదు. ఒక ఆడిటర్గా ఉన్న వ్యక్తి కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ అవ్వడు. అలాగే ఓకే. అండ్ ఈ అతనికి మంచి సౌండ్ మైండ్ ఉండాలి. ఇన్సాల్వెంట్ అయిన వాళ్ళు కాకూడదు. ఓకే. కోర్టు, ఎలాంటి కోర్టు కేసులు అతని పైన ఉండకూడదు. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద పీపుల్ హూ కెనాట్ బికమ్ అ కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ. డన్, అయిపోయింది. ఇంకేముంది నెక్స్ట్? ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఏదో ఉంటుందమ్మా. స్టేటస్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ. చిల్డ్రన్, ఆర్ యూ దేర్?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So shall I continue? యా, స్టేటస్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీకి వచ్చేసరికి అంటే ఒక కంపెనీలో కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ ఒక పొజిషన్ ఏంటి, మనం ఇప్పటిదాకా ఒక కంపెనీలో కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ అవ్వాలి అంటే అతనికి ఉండాల్సిన క్వాలిఫికేషన్స్ ఏంటి అనేది చదివాము. కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ అంటే ఎవరు అనేది తెలుసుకున్నాక క్వాలిఫికేషన్స్ ఏంటి. ఇప్పుడు అతని యొక్క స్టేటస్ ఏంటి, what status he occupies in the company అనేది చూస్తున్నాము అనమాట. సో ఫస్ట్ ఎందుకు కంపెనీ సెక్రటరీ కావాలి? ఈజ్ ద రైట్ కీ మేనేజర్ పర్సన్ అండ్ ప్రాక్టికల్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంటుంది, డ్యూటీస్, రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీస్, లయబిలిటీస్ అన్నీ తెలిసి ఉంటాడు. కంపెనీ మీటింగ్స్, కంపెనీకి సంబంధించిన అన్ని రూల్స్ అండ్ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ తెలుసు.
Ma'am, actually we don't understand Telugu.
Yeah, I'm telling English only. Is this screen visible, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Visible only, no? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So, who can be a company secretary? In previous topic, we learned who can be a company secretary and what qualifications they're supposed to possess. And in this topic, we are going to learn about what is his role being a company secretary, what he do, what duties and responsibilities he perform, his role. Okay, what we are going to learn. So, let us see. Key managerial person. He is a key managerial person. He possesses special status. Okay. And also, according to the section 203 of subsection 1, Companies Act 2013 defines a key managerial person means he is the person who, with relation to the company, he is the person, he is a CEO or manager in their absence. Company means in the absence of them, he can work, and he is a company secretary. Must be a CFO. Okay. He must able to take a definite, effective, and efficient role decisions. Okay, in implementation of the laws made by the directors. Now, the company secretary's role. He is a statutory officer. He is a coordinator. He is an administrative officer. How he is a statutory officer means he is the one who knows about entire legal compliances of various companies act, various acts, sections of the Companies Act. Okay, and he is the one who makes it, because he is the one who knows about various rules and regulations and terms and conditions, provisions of various acts and their sections. So he plays a key role, a managerial role, and he is liable if he not obey or if he violate his rules and regulations. He is liable for imprisonment and a fine also. Okay. Mm, yeah. Time to time. Once incorporation of a company is done, he is responsible to declare that the company is incorporated. Okay, and then with the evidence only. Then, under the SEBI regulation 2015, company secretary shall act as a secretary to the audit committee in case of listed company. Yeah, if a company is listed, he will become a secretary to the entire audit committee itself. Okay. And as per the Income Tax Act 1961, he is a principal officer of the company. So statutory, these are statutory officers as an office, as per the law. As per law, is a company secretary who is a principal managerial person, key managerial person.